Okay. Next command. Grab meaning scoop something from somewhere. Let's say, for example, let's say man. Okay, we already have a file called file test. So let's say grab file test 2. What are we grabbing? Let's say we want to grab the word CD from there. Okay. Oh, why? Does anybody know why it says no such file or directory? We're supposed to have this file. Can anybody answer? Okay, so the answer is first you have to look at what you are looking for, where you are looking for. Whatever you are looking for, are you in the right place? If we do pwd, see we are in root, and that file is not there. That file was in our regular user home directory, that was ec2-user. This is how we logged in. See, this is where this file is located. So you have to search for it wherever it is located. Okay, that's why pwd command comes in very handy. Now, let's say we are grabbing cd file test 2. Okay, see how many lines, whatever lines it has the word cd in it, it is showing it. Now, let's say we want to make it like a little more complex. We want to see how many times the word cd is in there. We do wc. Okay, wc said it's located on 13 lines. You can do wc-l. Okay, it says 13 lines. Okay, the last one is the total word or total character, I think. The middle one is total words. Okay, so wc is for show me the count. Okay, we can open up any file, like for example, let's say cat file test2 5. We want to see, let's say, how many lines in that file. See, in Linux, if you know Linux, your life will be much easier. Try it on Windows. Okay, first of all, you have to open up the file, then you have to look at the line. See, it says over here, it says only one line. Okay, but sometimes if you don't have the GUI, then there is nothing you can do. Okay, in Linux, you can not only find, we found this is the line, right? Let's found the character. How many characters are there? A, B, C, D, dash, and everything. It has 86,353 characters. Let's say we want to find how many words are there. It has 12,424. If you don't believe it, count it. Go for it. Okay. Now, let's go to a command called calendar. So let's say if we type cal, it shows the current month. If I want to see the whole year, okay, CALL 2022. A trivia question. Let's see if anybody can answer. Cal 1752. Look at the month of September. 1, 2, then 13 to, 3 to 13 is missing. Can anybody answer this question? Why it happened? And that happened only in 1752. Okay, that happened because before 1752, they didn't count at leap year. Leap year is every 4 years, there is 1 day extra in February. So 6.5 hours, 6.5 hours? No, 6 hours. 6 hours was missing. That's why they had to adjust it with 13 days. So that happened in the month of September 1752. That's why there is 1, then 2, then 14. Okay. So any time you want to see with the calendar, let's say you want to see 1000, okay, you can see it from there. How the year 1000 looked, what day it was on December 31st. Okay. I think it goes back, let's see. Yeah, looks like it goes back to year 1, and I think it moves forward to up to 3400. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the commands again. We shall find, we shall grab df, du, and head. Let's see df command. Df command is very important. Okay. If we do just df, let's see what happened. Okay. Usually we do df-h. Okay. df-h meaning human readable format. Okay. If you look at the top one, it does give almost the same information, but if you look at the size, first if you learn about what is a block, when we go to the file system, we'll talk about blocks. Okay. When you see a block, if somebody says how much space on that file system has, for example, if you ask somebody how much space does root file system has, if somebody says 8376300 blocks, now you have to find how many blocks, how many bytes in a block. Okay, then you have to convert the bytes to the kilobytes, then to the megabytes, then to the gigabytes. Okay, so it's not easy, right? So that's why we use df-h. So why it is important? Say for example, let's say I work as a Linux engineer for one of the company. Okay, and users are complaining that we cannot access to the system. Okay, so how do you troubleshoot? There are a lot of things can happen why users cannot access to the system. Once we go to the troubleshooting, we'll talk about that in a greater details. So first you log in. What do you do after you log in? First thing you have to check whatever users are trying to access, whether that application is running. If it is running, does it have enough space? Okay, if the file system is full, then the system will not function. It will not provide what it's supposed to provide. So how do you see system space, whether it is full or not? Use df-h command. Okay, see it says it's used only 20%. If it is used 100%, then the system will not even let you log in. Okay, we'll see when we will go to the troubleshooting chapter. Okay, that's why I said at the beginning of the class, even if you use Linux or Windows, no matter which operating system you use, so far what you have learned is how to go from a user basis. Okay, once you learn Linux or Windows in an engineering basis, then you learn how to provide the services. See, we never thought of, whether my C drive is full or not. Okay, but once you are in that role, then you have to think about this. Okay, so df du. Du is also similar to df, but it is used in a different way. Let's say du-sh. Okay, so what we are saying here is disk usage, right? Show me the summary in human format and all the file names. That's why there is a star. Okay, so basically it says dir2 doesn't hold anything. Okay, file 3 is 4 kilobyte, file test 1 is 88 kilobyte, file test 2 is 88 kilobyte, and this one is about 832 kilobyte. Okay, so that goes in particular file how much disk space is using. Why is it important? It is very important once you are in a production environment. For example, okay, let's say it is 156K. Okay, this is one of the file we'll learn about a lot. Let's see. Right now, it might look like Greek to you. Okay, but once we go in a production environment, once we move forward, you will see this file will be your best friend. It's like, you know, when a plane, unfortunately, when it goes down, the first thing they look for is the black box. Why? Because the plane data is in the black box. Okay, what happened? Okay, why the plane went down? They try to find the clues. Okay, in Linux system, if something goes wrong, this is where we come in first. Okay, this is where we come in and we see if anything is written there. Okay, whatever the system does, everything is written in here. Okay, especially for the application, for the users. Okay, right now we are not doing anything, so system is just writing the system stuff. Once we move to application phase, then you will see there are a lot of application messages. So let's say sometimes it might get much bigger. Okay, and you want to see what is the size of it. Okay, so we come in here and we do du-sh. See, it says 384 kilobyte. This file moves, I mean, fills up continuously. Okay, du head, tail, diff already we saw. What is head? So let's say we want to open first 10 lines of this file. So we do head -10. Okay, let's say we want to see the last 10 lines, head and tail. Okay, this is the last 10 lines. Why it is important? Because most of the messages goes all the way down. Okay, so a lot of time you will come here, instead of opening the entire file, let's say we want to open last 50 lines and hit enter. Okay, diff already we saw. There are a lot of other options we'll be using with diff. Okay, let's take a 15-minute break for Asr prayer, then we'll join back, inshallah. Okay, right now it is on my clock, it is 7:01. So we'll meet at 7:16. Okay, let's see. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so the question was, how do you change the host name? Right, we didn't learn the vi command yet. Once we learn the vi command, then we'll see how we change the file content. Okay, now if you vi a file, then go in there. So let's say if you vi a file, for example, let's say vi abcd, the file name. Okay, you have to know how to type something and you have to know how to get out. Okay, so to get out, escape, :Q. Okay, to save something, let's say I type, first I hit I for insert. This is a test. WQ. Okay, after today's class, I'll send you a link to go over VI, because before next Monday, we have plenty of time. Okay, any question? If not, we'll move forward. tar, gunzip, gzip, gunzip, unzip, 2zip, unzip. Okay, it's all for compressing or putting the file together. Okay, so let's see the tar. For example, let's say I have a bunch of files. I want to send it to somebody. Okay, so what I can do is I can put tar, let's say tar, then CVF. C means create, V means show me, F means the file name. Let's say I want to send it as files.tar, and then I have to say which file I want to include. So let's say include, for example, A, B, C, D. Let's say boot.log, cloud. Okay, both files on cloud. So I use the wildcard, which is tar. Okay,
so
message. Yeah.
So we are not practicing with you, right? We'll be doing it later.
Yeah, you will be doing later. You will get this file with your right after the class. Let me send this file. You will see all the commands, and I want to make sure everybody receives it.
Okay, so before you go, if you just send it to
Yes.
us, then confirm you received or not.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, thank
you. So if I hit enter, right? See, the system says basically it shows some files. So if I do ls, there is a file.tar. Remember the du command? -sh files.tar. We can see how much space it is using. Okay, so it is using 392K. Now let's say I want to make it even shorter. I mean, even smaller size. Okay, so I type gzip files.tar. Okay, now if we go back and see, the tar file now became files.tar.gz. gz. If we do du-sh, okay, see, it is 52K. Before it was 392 kilobyte. Now it is 52 kilobyte. So how do we unzip it? Gunzip files. If we do ls now, see, it's the tar file. So let's say I want to use another format. I want to use bzip2. Okay, if we look at the size now, now it will be, the extension will be bz2 because we use bunzip2, right? So the file size is even smaller. Okay, if I want to open it, the command is bunzip2. Okay, so this will come again and again. Okay, that's why I don't want to spend too much time on it. Zip is the same thing. Okay, chmod and chown, I'll keep it for now because there will be with the user accounts. Okay, let's see ping. I think we saw how ping works. Ping is basically you're asking if another machine is alive. Who am I? oops, that's a command. Okay, that's basically said that you as a user logged in as a EC2-user. PTA stands for P stands for sudo, PACUDO, sudo terminal session number 1. And since when, it gives a time. If you do who am I in one word, then basically it says your user ID, username, okay, current username. Before it showed how I logged into the system. Okay, so that's a very important thing. Like for example, we'll be using, say, you are investigating one system. Okay, something happened. Okay, the system is not working or somebody did something. Okay, so first thing we need to log in, we need to take a look at who logged into the system currently. So we type who, right? And then another command we can see, last. Okay, last command shows what happened last time, who else logged in. See, currently only one user is logging in. In a production environment, there will be a lot of people logging in. So let's say something happened at 2207. Okay, you look at 2207, who was there? See, the system exactly points out who logged in, what time, how long they were there. See, this user logged in at 2207. He was there for 2 minutes. So if something happened on 2208, most likely he is the suspect. Not necessarily, but that's a clue. Okay. One. All right. History is the command we typed so far. It saves up to 1000. We'll see how we can manipulate it. See how many commands we typed, and it gives a number. So as a regular user also, we typed command. So let's say more. See, we typed a lot of commands. Now, let's say I want to type, let's say I typed a very long command. Okay. And I don't want to retype it again. I want to bring it from the history. You have two options, either select it and copy it, right? See, there is a copy, or you can do bang. You know, bang is on top of the number 1 and then the command number. So let's say if I type 78, that command will be copied and pasted. See, this command got executed. Okay, so as I said before, Linux, if you can learn it really by heart, your life will be a lot more easier. Okay, and it will be very easy to get a job. Okay, top command is top command is basically a system summary. Let's say you are getting complaint that the system is not responding the way it is supposed to be, the way it is supposed to. Okay, so you come into the system, log in, type the top command. Top command will say who is using most of the resources. If you see that there is a process running, it's using most of the resources, but it is not giving any services to the user, you can kill that process. Like for example, if you look at the first process over here, okay, it says PID, okay. PID is using CPU resource of almost next to nothing. But let's say there will be time. Okay, there will be time you will see a particular process is using, okay, let's do this. Let's say this command became unstoppable. But second. Let me think about a command or what we can run on the background. See, the problem with this is, this connect is, I don't think you can connect multiple times. Let's see. Let's see if both windows are active. Oh, okay, that's good. So both windows are active. Okay, let me run the command, the one we ran before. Let's say while true, do echo hi done. Okay, this command is going to be continuously running. Okay, now if we run top command, okay, as you can see, there will be a script that is using most of the CPU space, the SSHD, okay, and there should be that script also somewhere on the line. Okay, let me write the script so there will be a little more clear. So how do you stop this? These kind of things you cannot stop even if you do Control-C, because it is continuously doing it. So you go to another window. We'll see that later, don't worry. ES-EF, grep. Remember the script started with while. Then the one. One zero seven eight. Where is changing the process ID? 1095. Okay, and that one is keep running. Okay, let's see one more time. Not that in real life we write a script like this, because this will be dangerous for your system. Okay, whatever you write, you should be able to kill it. Okay, so let's see, let me think about the script. I'm trying to show you how the command shows up on top. Let me connect to the instance from another window. And let me run the top here. Top. Okay. And let's run the script from here. Okay. While it is working, let's see. Okay, so ping, I guess, is not using that much resources. So that's why it is not showing up. Anyway, for the next class, we'll keep it for top. Top will be one of your friend. Why? Because it will show you how the system is running. Okay, and that's very, 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 very important. You have to see, like, for example, it says how many percent of CPU it is using, how many percent of system memories it is using. Then there will be disk. This is memory. This is swap space. And at one point, where is the hard drive? How many processes it is running? How many of them are sleeping? How many of them are stopped? How many of them are zombie? We'll talk about zombie processes also. Very important. Let's say a process is running on the system and it is not doing what it's supposed to do. So that is called a zombie process. Okay, this is probably disk waiting. So right now, this machine is fine. Okay, all the resources are available. Once we put some pressure to it, because right now it is not doing anything. Okay, once we install, let's say, a web server or a database server, or we run a specialized script, then we'll see how much resources it is using. Okay. Echo, we saw it before. Echo command used a lot in the script. Okay. Once we go to the scripting, we'll see. Echo. Echo is a very important command also. That's because it shows, like, for example, if we type, let's say, banana, okay, the machine will say banana. Let's say we type fruit equal to banana, okay. Now if we type echo $fruit, okay, now it says banana. Now it doesn't say fruit. Why? Because that $sign substitutes a command or a variable. So what is a command? Like, for example, if we do echo, let's say date, then it is substituting the command. We can do echo ls. Okay, it shows the files and directories, right? But if we put a $sign in front of it, right, whatever variable it is, okay, it shows the value. So what is a variable? Like, for example, if we type echo $, let's say tree, for example, the system will say, I don't know what you are talking about. Now, if we put a value in it, tree equal to, let's say, maple. And if we type echo $tree, now it will say maple. Why? Because tree variable has assigned value of maple. Variable is going to come again and again when we go to the scripting. Okay, variable, remember only this, just this. Variable is something, it holds a value. Command is something that does, that executes something. Okay. Once we go to the scripting chapter, we'll see. Okay, next one, I am skipping some commands, like for example, chmod, chorwn. We'll come back to that. User add, user del, user mod, we'll come back to that again. Cron, yes, let's take a look at ns lookup. Ns lookup is a very important command. Like for example, let's say I want to see the DNS server for Google. So I do ns lookup www.google.com. Okay, and it says for Google, the DNS server is this one. What is a DNS server? A DNS server is, DNS stands for domain name system. So what is a domain name system? Domain name system, we'll go over it. We'll install a DNS server on our Linux machine, and we'll see how the name resolution works. Say for example, if somebody comes to your family, very new, he doesn't know anybody, right? And he is a very important person. You want that person to know everyone in your family. Then somebody has to identify that each one of them from your family to that person. Okay, DNS works the same way. Let's say I'm looking for server1.google.com. Okay, who's going to tell me what is the IP address of the server1.google.com? Because without knowing the IP address, I cannot go to the another machine. That's where DNS comes in. Okay, we'll also talk about DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Nowadays, it's not used that much in production environment, but in your home environment, almost everybody uses it. Once you log in your Wi-Fi, how do you get the IP address? Without the IP address, let's say this is the computer I'm working on, right? If I do IP config, hit enter. Okay, as you can see, my IP address is 190, excuse me, 192.168.1.30. Without that IP address, I cannot go to the internet. Okay, that's where DHCP comes in, unless you assign this IP manually. Okay, this is my IP address. This is called subnet mask. We'll talk about subnet mask. We'll talk about default gateway also. So if you are at home user, take a look at what is your IP address. Okay, this is the IPv6 address. Okay, IPv6 address will not use it. Okay, but we'll just know about what IPv6 is. We'll talk mostly about IPv4, IP version 4. Okay, any questions so far?
Will we be able to watch this video again?
I hope so, because I feel much better today. Hopefully I can see the converting the video from Zoom for YouTube. It takes more than an hour. So on Monday, right after the class, I kind of collapsed and I had to turn off the computer, so it deleted the video. That's why I started it from the beginning. So right now, right after this class, I'll stop the video and I'll convert it to Zoom. And meantime, I'll send it to you the file we generated. Okay.
Yeah, today's video would be helpful to watch again, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. See, this is a very long file. I'll have to manipulate it and then send it. Let's see how big is the size.
It's too much to take all in one day.
Yeah, there will be much more because today my plan was not to go too far, but next time it will be much more, but it will be like on a specific subject. Like for example, let's say one day we'll deal with all the processes, user manipulation. Okay, so not to scare anybody, but as you know, like for example, when a student starts to go to the school, first they go to the first grade. First grade compared to second grade, it is much easier, right? Third grade compared to first grade is much harder. Fourth grade is much harder than first grade, but people do go through it. Okay, this is how we'll move forward. There are some of the commands you have never probably heard of it, never see it. Like for example, calendar of 1752, right? So right after this class, I'll stop the video and I'll convert it for YouTube, inshallah. And we'll finish it here. And hopefully Monday I'll feel much better and we'll go much longer.
Will you email the link?
Yes. Let me email the link, the one we prepared the file. That's where you will see the command I typed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's stay on the line. Let's see. VI this file. I'll VI this file and I'll delete, whatever is not needed.
So we will get this file in our email, right?
Yes, you
Whatever
will get this file on your email. Yes.
Jazakallah.
Let's see. Look at this. It has 473,000 lines. Wow. Okay, stay on the line. Let me manipulate this file. Unix to 1 second. Yeah, I'm forgetting a lot of stuff. Unix to Windows. Come on, what is the command? DOS to Unix. Yes. Huh? Okay. It's so small. Give me 1 second. Why it is not working? Those two Unix should be working. Because if I don't convert it, what will happen is you will get a file something like this one. PI 22. Okay, as you can see, it has a caret symbol on the at the bottom of the file. I mean, at the end of the lines, you will not be able to read it. Let me see. DOS. The command is DOS to Unix. Why it is not working? Let's see. DOS to Unix, it's supposed to work just like that. Convert and replace a text. Convert and replace it. Why it is this size for? It's two, 22. Let's say .txt. Switch file to directory. File. Oh, okay, I see. I see why. Because it requires another conversion. Okay, let's do this. Let's see. So next week we'll be using our Pari. Pari will not have this issue at all. Whatever you save, this is exactly what you will get. This is because it is going through the Windows, so this is going through the browser. SSH session shouldn't go through the through the browser or through the Windows. And also in real life, we will not connect our SSH session using a browser. Let's see if it can handle this. How many lines it can handle? No, it looks, wow. Okay, let's see. No, it is going in the middle. Um, Okay, let it pass, and then looks like I have to manipulate this file manually. Next week when we will use our Pari session, then you will see it's much more easier. And also I will encourage you to, while you do the work, save your stuff. Okay, so later on you can go through it. Okay. Next week we'll not log in using this connect button. Okay, this window has to finish because it has to go through 473 lines. As you can see, it is still passing those lines.
I know you're working on it, but when can we expect today's video to be viewed?
Today's video, you will expect it tonight.
Okay, is there the website or will we email?